but we're hoping for the best. We have one good contact. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no longer than that, I guess. I was saying, sure is strange. I've been over here and I haven't met anybody from Phoenix since I've been out, or anybody from Arizona that hasn't been with a church or a missionary. And then just a guy, clear out in Rutland, which is about 5 miles up the road. There's a little village out there, and he's Scottish, and he immigrated to the States in 1948, and ended up in Phoenix, Arizona for 15 years. He's married and had a couple of children out there, but apparently his marriage broke up, and he came back to Scotland. And he's moved down here now with his second wife, and they have 2 children. And the most important thing, his older son, who went to Rose Lane School in Phoenix, is here with him. And we've been teaching them. We've only got about one discussion and quite a few interesting talkings with them. It's kind of hard to catch them in. They work odd hours. But the kid is really good. Looks like a hippie. In fact, used to be, I think. But he's pretty straight-minded now. We're hoping for the best with him. There hasn't been a family baptized in this branch for 6 years, nor a priesthood holder. So there's no place to go but up. And we're hoping for the best, of course. Hello. Say hello to BYU, Elder Heaton.
Good morning, BYU. Good afternoon. Well, it's morning here.
Oh, whatever time it is. Yes. You want to say anything to a pretty girl?
What's up, Mandy?
Yeah.
I never say that.
He's a cheeky nipper.
Where's my typewriter issue?
I don't know. I haven't seen it for years. There's a green one there. You see that one? I don't know. Dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Say something, Mandy. I can't hear you very good. Enjoy life. Speak to us. I know what's in here.
Your type eraser? I haven't seen it for so long. Oh,
I've got 3 of them.
Landlady came in here about 2 weeks ago and borrowed it. The one that I knew of.
Yeah, but I had 2 more in here. See, I made a mistake already.
What have you written, Dear John?
No, dear Sue.
You aren't writing a girl, are you? You aren't writing a girl, are you?
No, I'm writing my mate. Stage. Hey, Asper, she knows Ellen from BYU.
Oh, what's her name?
Ellen Jacobson.
Do you know Ellen Jacobson? Where does she live?
2412 Young Hall.
Young Hall.
Heritage Halls, too.
Heritage. She's my mate's, what did you say, pseudo-girlfriend?
Pain in the neck.
Pain in the neck. Did you know that Eve was made from a rib from Adam? And ever since then, women have been a pain in the side to men?
Got an Adam for you, too. What did the Lord say to Adam when he took a rib out? He threw it on the ground and said, "Let there be noise." Come on, I can't hear you laugh.
Oh, let's see now. Where was I? Oh, yes, I was talking about baptisms. We only have 3 teams in our district now. They've reorganized to home mission, so it's quite a bit. Each district is very small. They have quite a few DLs now. And in our district, we haven't had a baptism since January, except for a little girl that was a reactivated type thing. You know, reactivate the family and baptize the little girl. The family really isn't all that active. They have big transportation problems. They live 10 miles from the branch, and it's just the mother with their 4 children. And her husband walked out on her and left her with all the kids and everything. Kind of cool. But other than that, we haven't had much success at all. There's been, over in Holyhead, if you ever look on a map, Holyhead is on the tip of the Isle of Anglesey, which is really deep whales, and there's a very small branch out in Holyhead, and two very hard-working elders. And they finally found a family in Holyhead and taught him, an Irish family from across Ireland. He was a Catholic turned atheist, and they worked with him, and finally he really had a good testimony, and they gave him all 6 discussions. But about the 5th discussion, he lost his job in Holyhead, and so packed up, and just after the 6th took off to Dublin. So Holyhead lost their family, and the elders didn't get to baptize them. I don't know whether they've been baptized yet or not, but apparently the Lord wants them there. Because the Lord needs somebody over in those areas, I think, almost as much as they need him in Holyhead. So that's about the closest we've come. Our landlady's looking pretty good. We've taught her a couple of discussions. She's the branch president's mother, and so we're hoping for the best with her too. So, what is today? Today is Sunday. Oh yes, last night the branch president came up to us, yesterday morning actually, and said we were supposed to speak, each of us, 15 minutes in the meeting, the sacrament meeting today. So we have about an hour and a half to prepare nothing, which we won't. We'll just impromptu it, I'm sure. But it'll be worthwhile, I guess, I hope, for the people. We'll be talking about missionary work, which isn't too hard to impromptu. Right. Well, I'm getting all my junk boxed up. I'm going to send about 3 or 4 boxes home. I was thinking about sending one to you. I don't know what I'd put in it. Oh well. Here, my plan so far, rather tentative, but I'm going to be into the mission home on Friday for my farewell. Friday before the 18th of June, which I think is Thursday, I think it is. So about 6 days before, I go to the mission home for a farewell. And I go back out in the field up here to Rill again. I'm told I'll be given my new companion, who will be the DL when I leave, and be able to train him a little bit before I go, which is at least a lot more than I've had the last 2 transfers, being DLs in 2 areas. It takes you a month and a half to get to know what's going on. And then I'll be going back into the mission home on the Tuesday, which I think is the 16th. I'll be released there, interviewed, and then the group that came out on the 18th of June will be traveling down to the London Temple on the 17th, and I'm sure that'll be a great experience. We really have a wonderful group. We've got, let's see, there was 9 elders and 1 sister that came out with us. Of course, the sister's gone home almost 6 months ago, and she was a very good sister and worked in the mission home like Dion did. Also, the 9 elders, 5 of them are DLs now. 1 of them has been a DL, and other 3 of them had been DLs and now are assistants to the president. So we came out with a very good, very good group. Matter of fact, I can't conceive of there being a better group. We had a meeting last Christmas at the seminar. It was really spiritual. It was wonderful bearing our testimonies to each other. It's really tremendous to have such good people, good brothers out here. So we'll go down to the temple, and then the next day I'm going to go into London with one of the elders, Elder Duckworth, I believe. He wants to do some genealogy, and so do I. And so we'll probably go into London and see the sights for a couple of days, which is like impossible to put it bluntly. You can't see much in 2 days in London, but we'll at least say we've been there, see a few of the things. Then I have a foreign exchange student my senior year in high school that lives in London. I think I'll go over and say hello to her and see if I can get her baptized. She and Jeanette Avery used to be real good friends. That'd be really great to get her and her husband in the church. And then Elder Duckworth and I will probably zip up to Northampton, say hello to the people I know there, and he'll want to go to a place called Huntington, where he works, and say hello to the people there, say goodbye, whichever is more appropriate. and then work our way up into Lancashire, near Liverpool, where his genealogy is from. And then I'm going to go down through Wales with him, and go down into mid-Wales to Aberystwyth, where my genealogy is. And I'll try to get over to Merthyr Tydfil somehow, and then back either into London or Birmingham to fly home. Don't know which yet. Most likely it'll be London. But it's going to be a real good time, I'm sure. I don't know how long it'll take. It'll take probably about a week, at least, very minimum. Because we'll have 2 days in London, a day in Northampton and Huntingdon, a day getting up to Lancashire. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. A day in Lancashire is 5. A day to Aberystwyth is 6. And then to Merthyr Tydfil and to London will be 7. That'd be very minimum 7. But I'll probably be home before July anyway. We've been really hearing some comments regarding the states lately. President Cannon came over recently and gave us he was at the Zone Conference last week, and he mentioned that it's more evident than ever. He said especially you Ellers that'll be going home soon, how the Lord seems to be dividing everybody up into either yay or nay. And when you get home, you'll really be able to see it. And it's apparent just from listening to the news of things that are going on in this Cambodia business. I was very surprised. The last letter I got from my dad, he said that he was pretty mad at Nixon himself for going into Cambodia, which is pretty much of a shock to me, because he's a very staunch Republican, and he said he's thinking that he's going to quit being a hawk like he used to be, which is kind of surprising. But I hope it all turns out for the best for old Nixon. I hope they've done a little bit of damage in there. But without student deferments, I don't know what exactly I've got on tap for my future. I don't know what to do. I think I'll write home next week and see if I can get signed up for the National Guard. I'd rather fight in the streets of Phoenix than fight in the rice paddies of Vietnam, I guess. Imagine I'll be doing one or the other. So, such is life. Anyway, that'll be an extra added 6 months before I get back into school, which will really ruin me. I guess it can't ruin me much more. I can't remember how to add, subtract, and divide. I've forgotten how to use a slide rule, I'm sure. Oh, gee. I don't know if my slide rule, she may never forgive me, my slide rule. But, I mean, yeah. I hear old Fred, he's got a pretty good slide rule, huh? Yeah, that's cool. That's really sharp. I hope he is using it well and getting good grades, so he can support Barbara, be able to put some biscuits on the table for him. What is he, a chemical engineer, is that right? Oh, that's pretty good. I was thinking about that once too. I've also got an Arizona State catalog about a month ago, and I noticed they have a different type of engineering program now. One curriculum is called Business and Pre-Law Engineering. And I was thinking about getting a master's degree in business management, so I might be changing from electrical engineering to this business engineering. But the trouble is, I think that's sort of a second-class engineering degree, and I want to be an engineer first, not a businessman. So I might stick on electrical engineering, I'm not sure. But I don't need to worry about that until I get cleared away with old Uncle Sam. I've been having some back troubles actually out here lately. I'm getting a pain underneath my right shoulder blade when I sit. I don't know what in the world it is, but I went to the doctor and he said my back hurt for £6, which is about $16. And sent me over to the hospital for x-rays, and I took 4 of my spine and 2 of my chest. I haven't heard the results on those things yet, but he says he doesn't know what it is. But with that and with a few other problems I've got, I might even flunk the physical, so I'm not going to even start planning about anything until I get home. My broken eardrum might keep me out too. All sorts of little things. So I'm not going to plan about anything till I can see the whites of their eyes, as old Andrew Jackson said. Don't fire until you can see the whites of their eyes. The weather's kind of mucked up the last days. I mentioned it was good on the beginning of the tape, but now it's bad today and yesterday too. It's been raining. My mate's in here making. I think I'll delete that last little part. Nothing to do with just. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. I'll tell you everything when I get home. Anyway, so I lost my gift of gab all of a sudden. I think I'm going to be bringing my guitar home with me. I don't know how to get it across on the plane. I've heard some stories about them changing the laws and not allowing you to take it with you. So I don't know what to do, but I sure hope I can bring it home because I haven't got the money to buy another guitar, especially when I have to buy a car. It's been pretty good here lately in the mission. The mission's shaped up quite a bit. When we first got here, it was pretty rotten in a lot of ways. A lot of the elders are very immature, the older ones, and consequently it really hurt the mission and baptisms and things like that. It wasn't President Cannon's fault, but they had a lot of problems here. And things are shaping up quite a bit. President Johnson's carrying on in President Cannon's footsteps very well. Of course, he's got many programs of his own he's introduced to the mission, which has helped us extremely well. President Johnson, on his first mission, went to Maine, and there he says the baptisms averaged out to about 1 per missionary per year in his mission. And he and his companions ended up with no less than 80 baptisms. So, needless to say, he's quite a missionary. He's also a tremendous insurance salesman. He's got the gift of gab and the touch of the Blarney Stone. And he can talk. He could sell ice to an Alaskan, I think, to an Eskimo, or sand to a Saharan, or whatever it is. And he's incorporating some of his ideas into the missionary selling type of attitude. It's good to learn because I don't think I'll ever have that opportunity to put into use. Well, I probably will in future life because selling is an everyday thing no matter what type of field you're in. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll sell computers. Well, anyway, maybe I'll be a computer. That's it. Anyway, I can throw away my slider. Divorce. Anyway, where am I? Oh yes, President Johnson. He sold over $1 million worth of insurance every year for 9 years. That's some super fantastic record. He's been a bishop for a number of years and a guide on Temple Square. So he pretty well does it all. He's really cool. But he really knows how to hammer you from time to time. So, today's another fast day in the mission. We fast every Sunday as a general rule, and any time else during the week that we feel we need it, or for contacts or something like that. So, there's no meals, and it wouldn't matter anyway. It's kind of a good thing, because our landlady's on vacation. She took off to Jersey. She left us here in her house all alone. We're down batching it, having a good time, I guess. Thank goodness I lived in a flat. I had to cook for myself for 8 months. So I guess when we start cooking for ourselves tomorrow, we'll be helter-skelter around here. Well. Your tape, you sounded very good on the tape. Your roommates and whatnot, they sure sounded cool. I like the title of that one, Lenora, the girl next door. Sounds like a nut. In a nice sort of way. And let's see, she's the one that's majoring in bugs. Yes, that's right. Well, what am I majoring in? Electronics? No, electrons. Anyway, let's see, some of those other girls. But well, you sounded the best of them all, though, I must admit. Old Barbara didn't sound at all like herself. Of course, I don't know Barbara very well. I only met her, I think, once or twice. Went horsing around in Mesa. Boy. Well, I guess my parents aren't coming over. That was definite. So they're home fixing the house up. The old shack over there on the old, next to the field where all the guys built the little white ball around. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough for the first little while when I get home. Laying around doing nothing until summer school starts. I'm sure my dad will change that, though. He'll put me out in the yard and I'll be doing everything around there. I'm sure of that, like I did before I came out. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the old grind, I guess, but I sure hate to leave. It's really going to be tough to leave. I hope I have some really big success in the next month, though. Something really extra special. I don't know what in the world it's going to be. But I don't know. I hope I can release something here in Rel. People here are fairly cool. I'll have to tell you about that when I get home, too. So, everybody's doing pretty well at home. Mom's health's pretty good, I guess. She was thinking about coming over alone or with somebody else, which is kind of silly. But I guess she's abandoned that idea, I hope. I'm looking forward to getting back to Tempe. Seeing this catalog has really got me enthused in that. But hearing about I guess it's official now, the draft deferment's going out about students. I read the newspaper article that was just about out anyway. So that's kind of crummy. And my number 241 is kind of tense too. My dad called the draft board and they said most likely they'd get to 241. They said it was sort of 50-50 really. So I don't know, I don't like playing odds very well. So I think probably I might be going to the National Guard or something, the reserves, or be a weekend warrior for 6 years, which is kind of a pain in the neck. But anything beats going over to Vietnam and not getting any experience in being an engineer. Just being a ground pounder, as they say. Although if it comes to that, I guess that's my lot, as it is with quite a few of the elders. All the missionaries, not all the missionaries, quite a few of them had gone home. All my buddies in Salt Lake. I think I'll probably zip up there sometime after I get home and say hello to them. I imagine my parents will be going on vacation up there sometime next summer. Old Elder Darger and Elder Nichols and Elder Moffett and quite a few guys. Really had a cool time. That singing group, of course it's long gone now. It's only just distant memories, it seems like. But they were great times. My old guitar, I don't know if it's ever going to make it home. It's so old and so battle-worn from the missionaries. It's about on its last leg. But it still sounds good. I guess that's what counts. If I could just learn how to play it right now, it'd help a lot. So, tomorrow's going to be a diversion day, the first diversion day I've had in about a month and a half, I guess. Which is no unusual thing for DLs. By the time I go home, I will have been a DL for 10.5 months. Kind of glad I wasn't. If I would have been I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I'll tell you when I get home. Oh well, that's number 3 on those type of things. From latest reports, Arizona State's baseball team is doing pretty well in the WAC. They're not apparently such a hot team this year, but they're doing all right. They're tied for first with Arizona. Arizona's always got a good team. So maybe they'll do real well again this year. I know they won the thing last year again, the whole shebang. That'd be kind of surprising if they did it again. Well, it's good to hear you're going to go to Tempe to summer Pretty good school. You'll get used to it after a while. The buildings and the campus and everything is such a tremendous. I don't think it can be beat, even BYU. Anyway, but the attitude, the atmosphere on campus is the thing that holds it down, I think. It's just sort of the ways of the world. I think G. Homer Durham got out when the getting was good myself. I don't blame him. But the Institute's cool over there. It sort of has that type of atmosphere, though. And it's a good place, though. The engineering building and the parking lot and the Institute are all in line. Hello.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Okay.
Just gotta look at it, spell appreciate.
Who?
Appreciate.
Appreciate or depreciate?
Appreciate.
Starts with an A. A.P. Assistant to the President. No. What's new out of Heaton?
Can't spell appreciate.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Mandy to say something.
You want to hear her? I'll turn the tape over.
Huh?
Do you want to hear her? I'll turn the tape over.
Yeah, we'll listen to her later. Tonight in bed.
What?
Tonight in bed, so you can dream about it all night.
Oh, no, none of that tricks.
Spell with two P's?
Yes, A-P-P-R-E.
Right there. A-P-P-R.
C-I-A-T-E. Appreciate.
Yeah, good. A-P-P-R-E-C-I-A-T-E. Appreciate.
You want to?
Hey, ask her if BYU's closed down. Hey, Mandy, is BYU closed down yet? And the rest of the universities. Got to find out whether this 100% is right or wrong.
Yeah, this guy we know from Arizona told us that all the universities, 100%, were closed down because of this Cambodia jazz. That's kind of ridiculous. I imagine by the time this tape gets to you, you'll have written me and told me whether that's true or not anyway, but just in case.
What does Mandy think about that Cambodia business?
I don't know. I haven't asked her yet.
She's all in favor of it, isn't she?
Yeah, she wants me to go to Cambodia. Over there with all the Vietnamese girls.
Yeah, that's it. They're called slant eyes.
Slope heads.
I always knew them as slant eyes.
Yeah. You know what slope heads are?
Same.
Yeah, do you know where that phrase comes from?
Mm-hmm.
The movie called The Sand Pebbles.
Really?
Yeah,
Did they use that in there?
which is the first movie I took my girlfriend to on a single date. How about that?
Hey, Mandy, let's not get romantic now.
Just think, Elder,
Yeah.
I've only got 6 more dateless Saturdays.
That's nothing. I got more than that.
I know. You
I got a year and a half more.
Oh.
Nah, a year and 3 months.
Elder Heaton's a lucky one, though.
Yeah, we all know that.
Oh, well. It's good to hear the old Negro problem isn't as bad as everybody made it out to be over here.
Yeah?
No, she said it wasn't in one of her letters.
I didn't think it was.
No, I always thought it was a bunch of baloney.
I don't think all universities are closed up neither.
Neither do I.
Mm-mm.
Of course, this guy said it was a federal something or other. Is that right?
Oh, that was Mr. Hall, yeah.
Yeah, he said federal law was passed immediately to do it. So if that happened, I can believe it. But without that, I find it rather hard to believe. All the demonstrations on the BYU campus.
You gonna do this whole tape? Both sides?
I don't know. No, not both sides.
When do you just, when are you gonna mail it, today or tomorrow?
When I finish it.
Oh, well, that's sorry.
I don't know. It took it 6 months to get here. It doesn't matter if I take a couple days to get there, does it?
Couple years?
A couple years. I might be.
Right, so gets there first. You have to take.
I might bring it home with me and hand it to you.
Yeah, that's it. Do that. They just hand it to her. Here, Mandy.
Oh boy. Well, it's good to hear old Dennis shaved off his beard. You know what she said?
What?
Her brother.
Hey, I haven't got a beard. Go on.
Her brother was working at their store, their typewriter store,
Yeah.
and he was growing a beard. And then her dad got mad at him because he said something about hippies. You know, people would think that hippies were running the store or something. So his brother shaved off the beard, and her dad didn't even know it. Didn't even notice. He couldn't tell the difference.
His mother shaved off the beard?
No, his dad. I mean, his brother shaved off the beard, his
Yeah.
own beard,
Yeah.
and then his dad didn't.
You
Really
couldn't tell the difference. I think he got long hair or something. He thought he didn't have much.
I don't know. Must not have been growing it very long.
I guess not. My brother sure looked good in that goatee of his.
Yeah. Remember that movie All in Favor? How the guy got off the plane with his mustache? Well, I still got that mustache in my wallet. It looks kind of hammered.
He's just not a kid that does.
After 2 years of being in my wallet. Oh well.
Yeah.
So what? So if I get off the plane with a beard, it's either real or it's not real.
If you ever go to Provo again, look at that skag mark and then think of that film history.
Yeah.
That is Provo right there.
Yeah.
You just go back 2 blocks
Yeah.
past and there's Provo.
Yeah, we had a film. Yeah.
Mountains anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, that's old Provo. I passed that many a day. Found these hopeless days.
Old BYU. BYU. Brigham
Hey, I
Young.
went down there one time.
Yeah.
Picked my girl up, you know, for a date. And this girl was sitting on the steps, you know. And just sit there and I talked to her for a few minutes, you know. I knew this girl wouldn't be ready. I about took her out. Man, that was so close. She was so good looking too. That was close. I haven't forgot that for quite a while. I'm gonna go down there and do those things.
Are you?
Yeah, I ain't kidding, boy. Girls run all over. They look as good as your mother up there does. Sitting on your chest.
Huh?
The dresser's up there.
Who's that?
Your mother.
Everybody asks me whose picture that is. You know, your picture on my dresser. And I tell them it's my mom. I had one companion, the landlady kept saying, "Oh, is that a picture of your mother?" They were serious too. She wasn't a bit ugly. Gee whiz. Oh well. It's true.
Sorry about that, Mandy. I understand the situation.
Yeah.
Just remember, the girls over here aren't worth a dime.
No fooling.
That's no joke.
Oh well. So, I've got this little cool gate. It says on it, Llewellyn, which means the home of the Llewellyns. Did you catch that? Llewellyn? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be said. I think I'll say it then for when I get home all the time. Anyway, it's a gate. It's about 5 inches high. It's an exact replica model of an old-fashioned sheep gate in Llangefni, Anglesey, North Wales. And it's really cool. The Coast Guard watch at Holyhead is a member of the church, and all he does is watch and watch and watch and makes these things apparently in his spare time. He's a real cool guy, and he's made the base of it is English oak, and it's about 100 years old. That wood. And the gate is made out of some timber that's about 200 years old. Then the post that the gate is to is only about 40 years old. And then there's a big piece of Welsh slate that he sanded down the top and inscribed Llewellyn. It's really cool, and it opens and closes and everything. If I get it home in one piece, it'll really be cool. The home of the Llewellyn. It's supposed to be sort of a paperweight or something like that. I don't know. So, and it's got a little medal on it that says Wales across it. It's cool. That's supposed to be from my dad, though. Did I tell you about the engine I blew up? Gee, it was really cool. I went into the mission home about 2-3 months ago, and I was told that, see, I was driving a little red Volkswagen, the one my dad was in when he came across. I drove him around in it, scared the daylights out of him, going around roundabouts and parking on the sidewalk and doing all sorts of things. He was scared. He wrote me a couple letters later and said, "You be sure to drive carefully now." Anyway, I've only had 3 wrecks over here. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so they told me to bring this Volkswagen in to trade it off on another car. So I brought it down to the mission home, and it was during a DL meeting, and all the DLs are there, and the place is a complete frenzy. And so they said, "Listen, go take that car, go transfer your stuff into the new Ford Escort." Not a new Ford Escort, it was one of the old mission ones. It's a 69 though, it's a pretty nice car. It's an English Ford, you wouldn't know what it looks like. And take off, you know. And so my companion, he said, "Well, listen, I'll go move the things and I'll check the car out. If you do this other business, and that way we'll get, you know, halfway done." Well, fine, it sounded like a great idea. So I was in there doing my other business while he was out fixing the car. And I saw him with the hood up, checking underneath the hood. And when I walked out, he was all set to go. And so we got into the car with 2 other elders and took off for home. But as soon as I turned the engine on, the oil light went on. And I says, "Hey, we're out of oil." And he says, "Oh, no, I checked." And he says, "Well, look at the light." And he says, "Well," he said, he used to be working in the mission home. And he said, "Oh, this is Elder Darger's old car." Well, I knew that was true because Elder Darger was my mate, and he used to drive this around when he was the AP. And he said, "Brother Wilkinson, who's the mechanic for the mission, said that it was a malfunction in the light, not in the oil, you see." He said, "I've checked under the hood," is what he said. I said, "Oh, you're sure?" You know, I said, "You're sure?" He says, "Yeah." So we take off. We stopped at a gas station to get some petrol. And I said, "You're sure this thing didn't need oil?" And he said, "No, it's all right." So we took off and got on the freeway. Went about 2 minutes on the freeway, and all of a sudden it sounds like a snare drum underneath the hood. A bonnet, as they say over here. So I pulled off, and as I slowed down on the side of the freeway, I got to about 10 miles an hour, and just as I started to put the final thing on, the whole engine, everything, just locks up tight on the drum, and I skidded up there, just like I'd slammed on the brakes. Holy Hannah, what in the world's going on? Got out, and thing wouldn't move, wouldn't start, wouldn't do anything. So we went back to the telephone. They hauled us in. They opened it up. It turned out there wasn't one drop of oil in that car, not one drop. It had been sitting there for 3 weeks in the mission home, I found out later. The guy who was in charge and inspecting the cars had not done his job. And so they gave it to me, and they told me to get out of there quick. And there's a rule that states before you go, you're supposed to, you know, before you leave each day, once a day you're supposed to check the oil. Well, because of this rule, and because I was the one driving, because I was a DL, guess who got in trouble? Right. So I really got chewed out for that. But I still don't adhere it to be my 100% fault. Actually, I was only given 50% of the blame. The other guy was, the mission secretary, who got the other part. But that 50% of the blame, I had to keep my mouth shut because my companion at the time his mission was on the rocks, and he was about ready to go home, just quit. So I kept my mouth shut and didn't blame it on him. And at least he's still on the mission. He went even lower ebb than he was then, but at least he's decided to stay and do some work now, last 3 months. But boy, oh boy, sure was bad about that situation. But anyway, so c'est la vie. So we took the Volkswagen back up and went back a week later after they'd put a brand new engine in this one and gave me the car. And I drove up. Now I'm driving the Escort. And they used to have an 1100cc engine in it, which is a real small 4-cylinder engine. But they put a new 1300cc engine in it, which is a lot better than any of the other cars in the mission. So I've got the fastest car in the mission field now. So I guess they thought I'd repented or something. I don't know. Of what, I don't know. So that's that. But other than that, things are going pretty well. We're working out as much as we can. We have some good contacts, I suppose. Nothing seems to be bubbling to the top at the moment, though. But we're fasting and praying, of course, and hoping for the best and everything. I once read about an elder who, I don't know where in the world he was on his mission, but he didn't baptize anybody for 23 months. And his last month baptized 54 people. Well, I'd settle for 4. I'd settle for 4. Yeah, I'd settle for 1. Anyway, and there's no place to go but up. It's been pretty lean up here. I really know the meaning of soft pressure in business. One of the reasons I'm glad I'm being an engineer, not a regular old businessman. I'll probably end up in business in some form or another, though. So I don't want to solder wires or have to look at a slide rule for the rest of my life. I know it's a shock. Right. Next question. Do you have any questions, by the way? Do you have any answers? Okay. Things have been going pretty quickly, obviously. Ever since I was made a DL, it's just time stopped completely. Just I just can't believe it. It's unbelievable, really, how things will go. But I have barely had time to realize when I have written letters and when I haven't. That's why the letters have been sort of erratic lately. So I hope you'll forgive me for that. Even my parents, I try to write every week at least. I've been slipping a couple once or twice in the last few months. So you're not being left out any more than they are, I guess. But I keep answering your letters or your tapes or whatever it is. What's next? What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I bought a whirly suit the other day. It's not here yet, it's being tailored. I'll be picking it up in about 2 weeks. I think it's sand color with window panes in it, sort of thing, those, like that shirt I used to wear. In fact, I've got that shirt over here. That's my only whirly shirt I brought over. I don't wear it but once every 10 years. But I've got it here, and it's my suit's sort of like that. But it's so bright, I don't think I can wear it while I'm on my mission. So I gotta walk around in these rags for the rest of my mission. Oh boy, it's a pinstripe blue suit. I got it. It's almost 2 years old, and the stripes are wearing out on the knees from praying so much. And there's a hole on my right side of my suit, on the inside where my consecrated oil was. I got a big rip in the inside pocket where I stuck Book of Mormons. So all in all, it's quite a missionary suit. But it's done me a good job, but I can't seem to keep it clean for 5 minutes. It's really something. Well, hope everything's going all right at the Y. Hope your grades are good. I hope this Cambodia junk doesn't affect you too much up there. It should have the least effect to the Y anywhere else. Who knows? Maybe that'll impress my dad to send me the Y. That'd be the day. Har har. Anyway, but I'm still enthused about ASU over the Y in a lot of ways, a real lot of ways. But so many of my friends are going to the Y. I just can't believe it. Of course, I may not be able to get into the Y. I understand they put a ceiling on things now. I know a companion of mine out here is a real cool guy, really intelligent. He got recommends from our mission president, from somebody at home, and his other mission president. He was in Germany for a while. And sent it all into the Y, and he's a pretty smart guy. And they sent back, and they sent him a Rick's College folder. So he was kind of shocked at that, to say the least. So I probably couldn't get in the Y if I had to, even though they sent me a letter asking me to come when I had my ACT test sent in. But I'm sure that's all changed. Of course, if Jan can get in, I guess anybody can. Don't tell her I said that. She's okay, I guess. Oh well. Oh, golly, guess what I heard the other day? You'll never believe this. Never, ever, never. Unless you already heard it. Maybe it's not true, but I think it is. Are you ready? Okay. I went to this zone conference, and one of my friends came up, and he said, "Hey, did you hear about Poirot?" I go, "Khaki? No, what? What's he doing? Is he playing in a band?" He said, "Nope." He said, one of his girlfriends, the people he met when he was in Derby on his mission, went over to England. I went over to America, and she and Jim got married in the Los Angeles Temple not too long ago. I about fell off my chair when I heard that. That stupid idiot. Gosh, he sure grooves on England, that's to say the least. So I guess that guy's got his mouth full now. He's got his plate full, should I say. I don't know how in the world he's going to support a family. But that's his problems. He's not. Boy. Yeah. Well, I hope everything's all right with you. I'm sure happy to see Sandy's getting along all right, I hope. It'll be good to see both of them. And Jerry, too. Oh, well. Let's see. Yeah, when's the baby due? Annie and Elder Marsh and Gwneda got a... Oh, I can't believe it. And Jim Medlin's got a... Oh, man. It's unbelievable. I bet old Jim and Jack are really sweating it because of the draft. Oh, that's terrible. These deferments, been canceled. Yuck. That's hideous. So, c'est la vie. That's the way the old ball bounces, I suppose. Let's see. There's a lady over here in Rill. She was baptized about 6 months ago. She used to live in New Zealand, where her family is now. She's referred her sons and daughters. And 15 people in New Zealand have come into the church because of her one referral. It's kind of cool. She's the LDS Society president here now after 6 months. And really a good member of the church. She feeds us quite often, which makes her an extra good member of the church. She also does her washing, which makes her a super extra good member of the church. So anyway, she'll be coming over to the States for a visit. They have a cool scheme over here. The members, they have a chartered flight that goes from Manchester to Salt Lake City nonstop. The members of the church can get on it and go to conference. It leaves 3 weeks before conference. For 88 pounds, you can go from here and back. That's return, round trip, as they say in the States. And for 88 pounds, now 88 pounds, 88 is 176. And half of that, 44, is about $200. Okay? That's $200 for a round trip ticket. Now from Salt Lake to London, one way, regular fares, it's $390-some one way. And they get it for $200 both ways. So it's quite a savings. And they get 3 weeks holiday. So a lot of the members of the church, of course they can't afford it. They barely can afford doing it at all, but on this scheme they do real well. They go over there and they get some good digs with the elders that baptize them or whatnot, and they stay in Salt Lake for 3 weeks and have the real time of their lives. It's really cool. Quite a few of them will be coming over that I know. One of them already did. They went last April or September. Let's see. Oh, it must have been last September. Yeah, went over to October General Conference and saw my parents up there. One girl did from Woodset and Ward, and it's kind of cool. So a lot of these people, I'll be going up to Salt Lake to see. Maybe they can come down to Phoenix. Kind of cool to see them again, I'm sure. The church is really growing over here. They're thinking about making a stake in Liverpool now. I don't know how true that is. It's sort of just off the grapevine. But considering, what was it, 10 years ago there were no stakes, and now there's 7 in Britain. It's pretty good. There's, in our district, not missionary district, but church district, North Wales district as it's known, there's no chapels at all. The one here in Rill, they meet in a house that the church owns the land on, so it's the closest thing they have to a chapel. But other than that, the other places just rent. Over in Holyhead, they have about 3 families that come out of church, and they meet in a house. It's a shack. It's literally a shack. It's behind one of the movie houses in Holyhead, which the one that shows all the dirty films, and it's right up against the back wall, and the sound permeates through into the sacrament meeting. It's really hideous. It's too bad that you just can't seem to find any place better to meet, but there just isn't a place to meet like this. There's a lot of prejudice goes on with the church members outside the church. A girl in Rill went up to get a job at a place, and she had all the qualifications and said I was a Mormon. They said no, because you're a Mormon you can't come in. Kind of cool. The big adoption agency in England won't let Mormons adopt children. No other church, just the Mormons. Phew, I can't believe it. But other than that, things are all right over here. People are really cool. Well, it's now 3:45. I've been yakking for a long time. We actually have contacts coming to church today. I can't believe it. It's the first time since I've been in Rill. First time. Except for our landlady. She's come to church. She's cool. But we've got this Chris Hall from Phoenix coming, and some other people. We're really looking forward to doing some baptizing around here, I hope. I can't promise anything. I can't, way too early. Chris Hall is really a good contact. He was talking to a Mormon on the bus who'd been inactive, and he heard his American accent, and she said, "Are you a Mormon missionary?" He said, "No." And he said, "Oh, are you a member of the church?" He says, "Not yet." So there's only one big trouble. His birth certificate he forgot to bring into the country, and the immigration service is going to deport him in 5 days if he doesn't get a hold of it, and he has no way of doing it. So we're kind of fasting for him to see if this problem can be alleviated. I don't know what'll happen. He was born in Trinidad, see, and he sent for his birth certificate in Trinidad, and they decided not to send it to him, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's what he gets for being born in Trinidad. Way to blow it. Okay. Wonder if he's part Negro. No, can't be. Red hair. Anyway, I think you're going to be surprised when you get to ASU. Maybe not so much since you've been at MCC, but it's really weird at ASU. Guys will walk around with I mean, I assume it's a lot worse than it has been now, but the big hippie scene and the whole bit, it's kind of weird. It's really not too cool. But if you stay on the right side of campus, the education building is cool. The education building is on the far west of campus. Unfortunately, the engineering building is on the far east. But in the middle of campus, that's where it gets kind of yucky. You have a lot of weirdos in the social sciences and psychology and all that business. And art is, we finally kicked the architects out of the engineering building. Oh boy, am I happy about that. Those guys were nothing but weird. Most of them anyway. Not making a stereotype image of them, but you kind of, didn't like to see them around the engineering building all the time. There was one architecture professor who used to wear a pink shirt with a green tie with blue trousers, not just regular blue, but bright blue, and with off-color socks, with little designs all up and down, and with tennis shoes. Really sweet. Now that's what I call a mature 50-year-old man, PhD. That's wonderful. I'd like to see a lot more of that kind of style going on. Anyway, so they're off on the north side of campus now, so I think, unless their building's not ready yet. But when you get in the middle of campus, it's kind of yucky. You get on the mall and around the Memorial Union, the student union deal. You know, kind of weird. Of course, it's kind of cool. You kind of get used to being in the world but not of the world. So it'll be a good experience for you, I'm sure, since you're so used to being all spiritual and everything up at the Y, which is good. The institute over there is kind of cool. I think I'm going to take courtship and marriage when I get home. I've got a research project. I'm sure it'll be a real winner. I won't tell you about it though. He might hit me in the mouth. Reggie was his usual self on the tape. In fact, he was actually more gross than usual. Looks like he's digressed since I left home. His tapes weren't all that bad, really. Of course, I guess it's because you were around. But this last one's been kind of weird. He's kind of gone off the deep end, I guess. Not much news from Phoenix, I suppose. Oops, I just dropped the microphone. Anyway. Nothing too alarming. The Germans just flew over here and dropped a few of their old warheads just to keep in practice. It's just out, down off the coast. Rill's kind of a cool city to end your mission in. It's called Sunny Rill. It's sort of, the sun shines every other week, and once every other week, which makes it more sunny than most places. It's actually a resort area on the seacoast of the Irish Sea, which is all right if the missionaries stay away from the beach, which is a real good idea, and for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of trouble here. I don't know whether you've ever heard of the skinheads. They're sort of the opposite faction of the rebelling youth today. They're anti-hippie. I don't know what I guess they don't have those in the States, but they shave their heads instead of grow their hair long, and they walk around with American Levi's that are rolled up, turn the bottoms up real far, and then they wear T-shirts with, what do you call them in the States? Suspenders in the States. They look kind of weird, and they wear big boots, and those guys are real mean. And they go around beating up all the hippies all the time. And they had about 500 of them in Rill on Easter weekend, and they're expected to have some more in a couple of weeks, which is really going to be exciting. But it's good for our family home evening approach at the doors. Do you want your kid to be a skinhead, type of thing? Well, then join the family home evening club or something. Anyway, that was an original, by the way. So, I guess this tape's about ready to end up. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all, all of you and Sonny and Gertrude and let's see, Sam and Sonny too, and my T-shirt and my heart and my slide roll, and Dion and my slide roll, and Sandy and my slide roll, and Jerry and your mommy and daddy and your mommy's cooking. Oh, qualele. By the way, I've gained some weight the last couple months. I'm really fat. Ugh. I'm skinny, but I'm fat. It's yucky. Can't wait to get home and work it off. Yeah, so my landlady really feeds us. Gee, it's unbelievable. But I think I weighed 155 when I left. Remember, I stopped eating that last semester. I just couldn't eat. Remember that? Oh, I just couldn't eat. I was working too hard. And I weigh, 12 stone 10. There's 14 pounds to a stone. I weigh 178. No. With my suit on, of course, so it's a little bit less than that with it off. And my shoes, so I weigh probably about 173, something like that. I don't know. At least 170. But it's all in the wrong places. Oh well. I can't wait to get home and play some softball. I'm looking forward to that. You never saw me play softball. You just saw me play basketball, go out and get killed. Remember that time that guy threw the basketball right in my face when he was about 2 feet away from me? I had a bloody nose. Maybe that's a dirty word over here, a nosebleed. You certainly have to watch out with what you say over here. There's so many dirty words that you don't know what you're saying. We're always calling each other, oh, you silly bum. And over here, bum is a swear word for your rear end. So people are always turning, those are missionaries? My. Oh, it's funny. So a lot of them understand though. So when Nixon called those hippies bums, they really played it up in the papers. Nixon swears at youth and all this other business. Anyway, they don't know what he's talking about. I think I'm going to sign off. Let's see, how many more hours of this do I have to put you through? Looks like about 2 minutes. Let me time it. No, I don't. I had to buy a watch. My watch passed away the other day. Bought another watch, and I lost the guarantee to it. It got burned up in a trash bin, so I don't know if I'll be able to bring it back in the States or not without the whatever you call it. Don't tell my dad that, it'll kill me. It cost me $15 on it. 15, it's pretty cheap. It's a Timex. It'll break next week. It runs great on propeller blades, though. I hear. Li-di-di-di-di-di-di. We had what we call an April fast in April. It's where we stay away from anything that isn't conducive to the spirit or anything neutral. Like I didn't play the piano or anything like that for a month. They set for hymns, and didn't even take my guitar out of the case and whatnot. And I think I've forgotten how to play the piano, so you'll have to teach me when I get home. I'm really getting kind of crummy on the piano. I don't like hearing what I play anymore. I've been thinking about what kind of a car to buy if I ever figure out what Uncle Sam wants me to do. I think it might be a Camaro or something like that. Don't want to get something too big. I got to plan ahead for the future, I suppose. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di. So I don't want to get a big engine in it, and which will just cause problems with the petrol. I hope you had a good trip down to Zion's Park with your 40 girls and your 5 boys. I think I'm going to sign up for that one next year. Let's see. My cousin Phil got married last week. Is that Phil Bates, that guy that you used to have a hang-up on? No, it can't. Oh, that was Brian McAllister's cousin. That's right. Jack and Jeanette Marsh's baby. You don't know anything about. I'm reading your letter in case you can't tell. You're really excited about June. Oh, turn the tape over. I think it's going to be an important month.
I was sick of it.
I wasn't going to use this side, but I got to reading this letter here. Let's see, where am I? Jack and Jeanette are Barbara and Paul are getting married in the same day, and you're coming home. I'm also going to summer school for the first time in my life. Hey, I read pretty well. A lot of firsts are happening. I hope that last letter didn't scare you. Of course it scared me. What do you think I am, anyway? I'm a missionary. Well, last night I had a weird dream. Oh, yes, I remember your dream. I haven't been having too many dreams, really. Yeah, I have. I don't want to get mushy. Dumb I was. Oh, yes, that's more your dream. Well, what was I going to say? Doggone it. Oh, yeah. We've had quite a few troubles with the branch. It's kind of bad. I think every one of the 10 Commandments have been broken. That's going quite a ways. Whew. Oh, well. Oh, I think I better sign off. Anything else I want to say important? No, I'll see you. Yeah. I guess I'll have to call you or something. I don't know, how are you gonna know when I'm coming home? Is your number 945-6496? I think that's it. I haven't thought of that for so long. Gunk. That's chunky. So, I shall see you in living color, living black and white in about 45 days. Which isn't too long, really. Somewhere around the last week or so of June. Say hello to BYU, to Barbara, to Fred, to Jack and Jeanette, to Jan. Anybody else you see. Say hello to Fred Slide Rule. Say hello to your parents and to your whole family. Say hello to ASU. Tell your mother that I'm waiting for lemon meringue pie, and her. Let's see, what else was it I just was thinking about? Oh, I can't remember. She cooks so good though. You better keep getting practice too. Just remember you've got. No, I didn't want to. Oh well. Where am I? Oh yes, I was talking about food, my favorite subject. What a terrible subject when you're fasting. Doggone it, I was going to say something. I guess I better shut up. We got to go pick up our contacts and go to church. Which is cool, finally. Oh yeah, I've got to speak in church tonight. I better write a talk. I've got how long? Got about 20 minutes. Yeah. 20 minutes to talk and 20 minutes to write the talk. No, I'm not going to write it. Just going to blab. So much for that. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you. You're scared me for a minute there. I thought I was recording this thing without having the recording part on. Well, anyway, as they say in Liverpool, I'll see you, my duck. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, you know. That's German for ta-ta. There's a little bit more, so keep going.
School really is doing fine. It's easier than I thought it would be. I was so scared.
Your name is Ellen, I think. But I don't think you're ashamed for not writing sooner. Forgetfulness is no excuse. It's the desire you need.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So much for her after this.
It's called Dear Jane.
She's not going to feel too good after she gets in.
Well, the way she's ratting on you.
I thought that was really
I
good.
talked one of my companions into writing a Dear Jane.
Did you?
Yeah. Of course, he got a Dear John, but he wouldn't accept it as the truth.
Really?
You know? And I said, gee, you stupid twit. You know? I mean, she's out there. I mean, she doesn't think anything of you. You might as well just realize it and write her a reply at least.
Yeah.
And he wrote her back, man, it caused havoc in the ward because he was going with the bishop's daughter, and he was the son of the bishop, the first counselor.
Yeah.
And the bishop's wife came up to his mother and said, "Your son wrote a terrible letter to my daughter," you know, and all this business, you know. And finally, his mother went and read the letter, and there was nothing in it. It was terrible, just honest and forthright and true, you know, and just told her to get lost, really, you know, because she had really rotted on him. And gee, the whole ward is up in a tizzy over it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That'd be about the same circumstances. This girl is the bishop's daughter, and my dad was the first counselor.
Is that right?
And her ma was trying to get her married after me, and my ma was trying to get me married after her.
Is that right?
And
You poor kid. No wonder. I'd write her back in right now then. That's hideous. Have you?
Oh, I've done it before, you bet.
Yeah, I know.
This is going to be the one that counts, though. Forgetfulness is no excuse. It's the desire you need.
Thanks for your honesty. That's what I used to say at the door when I was cheeky. People would say, "No, I'm sorry, we haven't got any time today. Come back again." And I'd say, "Well, if we came back, would you speak to us?" "Well, how about if we called when your husband was in?" Well, yeah. Well, thanks for your honesty, sweetheart."
There's going to be one cool letter.
We gotta
made it too, boy.
Yeah. I almost had to take Llewellyn Nichols' arm and put it in the post box to mail that letter his, though. He didn't want to do
Is
it.
this the one?
Elder Nichols, yeah.
Was it Elder Nichols?
Yeah. Gee, his girl just rotted on him. You know, really packed him right in. And then he had gone 5 months still writing her. 5 months.
After that?
Yeah, after it. And I said, "Man, you are nuts."
She write back?
Yeah, but just general stuff like you know, nothing like
That's
the weather's
letters they
fine.
get, huh?
Yeah, like the letters you'd get. Yeah. By the way, Marilyn, why don't you have everybody?
You been taking me?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
By the way, Marilyn, why don't you have everybody in your dorm write me a letter? My mate, gee, he's had 37 letters to my one. You gotta have something done about this. Everybody write me on the same day, okay? Just a postcard, anything, just so my mate just doesn't get the best of me.
If they're girls, you can have them write me too.
I promise not to write back to him, except maybe a thank you. Oh, well, okay. I promise.
Sounds like a real sob story, doesn't it?